on audio there. That's recording. That's good.
I'm like, how many fingers does she have? She's gonna keep going.
She's always counting down early. Okay, so I think we're recording there. I got your music going, and we are live. You're live, baby.
Live? We're live. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Beach Fence Podcast, where we talk about life, business, and everything in between inside of a beach fence. My name is Joanna, and this is Talon. And we have a special guest for you guys tonight, as you may have saw in some of my promos. So this one comes straight from the heart, also the stomach, I guess you can say.
Nice.
So this is somebody that I have known for many years. We went to high school together, and it is a family-run business that is also close to my heart and stomach because they are now down the street from me, so not good for my self-discipline. But I want to introduce you to somebody who, if you don't know this bakery cafe place and these people, you are going to fall in love, and you are going to get your next custom cake, your next pastry, and you're going to hear about how small businesses are working through COVID and staying positive and making changes so that everything is adapting and people are still connecting and having an amazing time. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome Steve Viola. Welcome,
Hi, guys.
Steve.
Hi.
So I kind of alluded to the fact that we went to high school together.
Yeah.
So you are a couple years older. So as in many high schools, I feel like it's the younger ages that end up knowing more of the older ages and who they are. But I also went to school with your two brothers who run the business with you. So David and Andrew. So you guys are a three-team, not duo, trio.
Yeah.
So explain to me how this all happened, how this came to be. So we're talking about La Casa Dolce, and they're amazing. It's a bakery and cafe, and it's run by a family of three. Started with three brothers, and I was in cooking class with David and Andrew, actually. So funny story. We used to make cakes in cooking class. And they got one of the highest grades, obviously, in the class because they were just amazing, phenomenal. But which
is probably why they went into the field, obviously. So
yeah, and then they did this skills test for I don't know. In Canada, we have the skills test competition type thing where they go and they compete. So they also did that. Yeah. And then I remember that my mark was 1% lower, 1% lower than theirs in that cooking class for the cakes.
Yeah.
So I was just thinking, hey, I could work for you guys if I really
Yeah, she said that the other day. She was floating her own boat on her cake.
It was nowhere near as great, but still the hope's there. So yeah, give us a little information about how this all started, a little background story.
Yeah, sure. So there's three of us. My brothers are 3 years younger than me, and they're twins. So they, just like Joanna said, they I can't remember what the class was called. It wasn't called cooking class. What was it called?
Food and nutrition.
Food and nutrition. That's it. Thank you. I always remember it and then I forget it.
With
so
Miss Malteri.
Miss Malteri, who still comes to visit them to this day. They took that class and long story short for that part, they excelled at it. And they were entered in Skills Canada competitions. They won, I guess, for our district, and then they moved on to the Ontario provincial, whatever the thing was called. And then they did really well in that too. So I think they've always been just techie. They've been good with their hands. They've been good with computers. They've been good with, cooking, obviously baking, whatever, as you can tell. So then they had to pick a profession. And I don't know the exact reason why. I think they just said, this is what we want to do. And they went to George Brown College. And at the time when they started, I was probably finishing my degree at Ryerson in business. Mm-hmm. And they were starting, so we just, because they're twins, they're like a novelty and everybody knows the twins and the family always knows the twins. And when my parents always brag, okay, they're in the baking and cooking or whatever, they're like, okay, well, family members or friends started asking can they make us a cake? So it started with one and oh, it's cute, they're making cakes, whatever, all that kind of bullshit.
And they're going to support you.
Yeah. And then they just kind of snowballed a little bit. And me, I was all hey, I'm going to be the next multimillionaire businessman, mogul, whatever, because I was in business school. I'm let's make a business out of it. So that's how it started. It came to that, and it just snowballed. And my parents said, okay, you can use our basement, which has a kitchen because we're Italian growing up, and we used that. And then it kind of went on, and we got our first store, and now we're all the way here. So that's the short story of it all. But anyway.
But you also, like, I remember like re-meeting you, I guess, sort of say, in Teachers College as well. So you also did a little stint in Teachers College. Yep. For business.
I had a lot of stints, but the Teachers College was the last one. I went there when I was working at the time, and I just applied on, I don't know. I mean, teaching people is just always kind of like a passion of mine. So I'm like, I'll just apply and see if I get in. I didn't think I would get in. I got in. I said, I don't want to pass up the opportunity because people killed to do this. So I did it, and went to the University of Toronto together. It was great. But yeah, I mean, the business was just more the heart and soul of what I wanted to do, run my own business, be with my family, and so.
And I mean, like, why wouldn't you want to run a business where it just smells great all the time and you come home smelling like cakes?
I mean, there's times where I'll come home and my wife, like, I'll give her a hug, I'll say hi, and she smells my beard, and she's like, okay, the boys were frying, like, someone was frying donuts today, because you can just smell, like, it gets in you, right? It's not I mean, there's way worse things to smell like when you come home. So
yeah,
but yeah.
Just think of all the fast food places like McDonald's hamburgers and whatnot.
Yeah.
And smelling like donuts and sugar isn't the worst thing either. But
no, it's definitely that's how you sell a house. You're supposed to have cookies going. It's like the good feeling smell,
like, I read that somewhere too. Like, if you have cookies out and it smells like cinnamon, like, people put cinnamon and apple into boiling water to make the whole house smell like that, so it sells better.
I believe it.
So now, like, did David and Andrew try and get you into cooking, like baking, because they were starting?
Probably a lost cause. I mean, I can do things. I'm not gonna lie. I am not a baker by trade. I'm not gonna pretend I am. My brothers are the experts and lead our team there, because we have a lot of staff now. But
wait, hold on. Pause. Sorry to interrupt. So, like, going from your parents' basement, having two kitchens, of course, you're Italian, having one upstairs, downstairs, and then moving into your first location on Browns Line, it was how many square foot?
It was 3 levels, but each level was, I don't know, like 600, 700 square feet, and with a lot of stairs to go up to so the top one we would have. I talk with my hands. You can't see where I'm going here, but the top one we would have like a little desk and meeting area, because when we'd sell wedding cakes, we'd go up there. The middle area was the store, and then the bottom area was where we would bake.
Yeah, that's where I had my first lobster tail.
Yeah,
like that was the moment. I don't know if anybody's listening who's never. It's not actually a lobster tail. I forget what they're.
Looks like one.
Yeah, that's what. So what is it called? What is it called? That.
We call them Apollini in Italian too, or sfogliatelle, but they just look like lobster tails, like the end of a tail. So.
Like the crunchiest, most flakiest, buttery, beautiful pastry filled with this custard filling that is just creamy, and it's not like the whipped cream, like the cheap stuff.
No, you're on about it all the time.
It is like the good like inside that you just want to. So it's,
and they're still probably the most popular thing that we sell on the pastry case. So.
I wonder why. There's honestly, I watched Cake Boss like 5 years ago, and ever since then I was like onto them, and I'm like, I'm gonna go like try every single one. And honest, I'm not even like I don't care if you're my friend or not, but like I like you guys still have the best. Not biased at all. Like, I'm telling you, I tried all of them that I could try in the GTA, and you guys have the best lobster tails.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. If you guys know what that is, look it up, search it up, and then go get them from there. Yes. So you went from like a smaller place in Browns Line, and then you had like, I don't know how many employees there.
We had one.
It
was me and my brothers. I mean, my dad was pretty much semi-retired, so he was there all the time with us too. But I mean, he's our dad, so I don't consider an employee. And then we hired a girl from the area to just apply, because we started to get a bit busier and we needed the help. Sorry, I apologize. And then after her, we hired my brother-in-law full time, who's been with us ever since. So we had 2. So it was the 3 of us. and them too. I mean, you couldn't really fit more employees in there anyway, so we were really capped out.
Right. And then you moved after 3 years, it was, right? 3-ish years?
Yeah, we signed the lease at the location we're at now, May 2012. We signed there, and then it took us about 6 months to open because we did all the rentals ourselves.
Yeah.
While at night we work at Brown's Line, my dad would be there during the day by himself, which I don't know how he did it. And then we go after work at night till about midnight. Whenever time we finish, we come home, sleep, we go back to work the next day. So
you guys were hustling hard. Like that location on Cawthra and Queensway, guys. Cawthra, right off the QEW.
I love all the plugs. I love it.
I'm just saying, like, I don't think people understand what it means to find a good pastry. So I just want everybody to know, right off the QEW, like a kilometer north on Cawthra, Queensway.
Every time
I pay her under the table when she does that. So she just made me
No, Steve, every time we go by there, like, which is basically every day, she's always like, "Oh, look, it's my friend's bakery. It's my friend's bakery. This is where I get the lobster tails for your birthday. This is da 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 da." Every time. Oh, look, there's Steve. There's Steve. Look, that's my friend.
Yeah, you see me in the truck driving around.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a beautifully decorated truck. So you guys might see the car if you're watching local right now, but definitely check it out. So, and then you moved to how many employees did you end up getting?
As of today?
Well,
as of
before COVID, yes. Like.
Yeah, sorry, correct. I mean, no, they're still my employees. They're not going anywhere, so I'll still count every one of them. But we have including me and my brothers, and we have 34.
That's
something
crazy.
like that.
That's awesome.
There's a lot of a lot of it consists of part-time. We have a bigger part-time staff because a lot of them are university, high school, so you need a lot of them because their schedules conflict. And then our full-time staff there on a regular basis, when we're fully staffed, there's 13 or 14 like on a daily basis.
Yeah. That's still like going from like maybe 2 or 3 plus your like dad and brothers, like that's a big expansion. That's awesome. Congratulations, because that takes a lot of effort and a lot of hustle, a lot of drive. And when we were talking off camera, most of their business is not done from marketing like me just spewing out information that you guys. It's actually just word of mouth, like between.
I think the fortunate thing for us, like in our line of work too, like so we started with custom cakes. That's what we had the bakery, but it wasn't a bakery. It was a custom cake and a little pastry shop. The great thing about our line of work is the work that goes out is advertising subliminally on its own. So hypothetically, if someone orders this big fancy custom cake and there's 100 people at the party, can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Those 100 people, most of the time, at least a couple people ask, "Where'd you get that cake?" So the cake will speak for itself without having the branding on it. So I didn't realize it. We didn't realize it until, about a year or two in. We're like, holy shit, like we're getting referrals. We didn't do anything. All we did was put out a cake that someone already paid for us. So our advertising went out for, you know what I mean? So we're lucky enough to do that, which is great. I mean, we work with Z103 too. They push us a lot. They're great. We've been with them for years, and we do Instagram stuff here and there, but I'm not going to lie. I don't put a lot of money into my marketing budget. We don't.
Just
a lot of it's
focus on the good products, right?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of it is we built up by that, and we also built it up with the community too by word of mouth, getting people to come in. We've given away tons of free stuff over the years. Like, people come to the display case. I remember like even my dad was around. He's a big thing in it. Like people like, what does that taste like? Dad put it in a glove, take with the cookies. Like just eat it. Just fucking try it.
Yeah.
You'll like it, kind of thing, right? And people will buy a whole box. That was his philosophy. Like,
well, sampling.
I guarantee it's good. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it does. That's how I buy stuff at Costco all the time. I do sample things, and I'm like, oh, I want that.
So we built it off of that, and we really want to, like, besides having good product, like our whole thing is the customer service and that family feel and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah.
That's amazing. And that's great. That's the greatest customer service you can probably do, is just care more about like your own products, making it as best as possible. And in fact, I don't know if you know, because you have, again, like 35 plus staff. Talon and I ordered a custom cake for our friend through you guys.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So it was like super cool because they were just buying their first house, or they built their first house.
Oh.
So we got the house printed on a cake for them.
Nice.
And it was like it was beautiful. And
good.
Yeah, the whole shape and outline, it was really good.
I'll put a picture of it in the comment section because I'll have to find it. I'll have to dig it up somewhere, but it was.
We'll throw it into the after edit.
Yeah.
Nice.
It'll be really good. Yeah. So because you're working with your two brothers, how would you say working with family?
Yeah, because family is a big, that's the big thing,
Dying to
right?
ask that question. I'm trying to find the words. I'm not like stuck. I know this is cliche. I wouldn't trade it for anything because it's, you know what I mean? Like, I know it sounds cliche, but it's got its great moments and it's got its challenging moments. It's never bad. I mean, and you hear, you know, horror stories of family businesses or whatever. My parents just were very, very big in whatever you guys do as brother, sister, whatever, the four of you, whether it's family or business, you always stay together no matter what. And they ingrained it, like, just, I know I keep swearing fucking all the time. Like, it was just, they're very adamant about it. And so, I don't know, for us, it was just like, no matter what, you know, I could tell my brother fuck off one day and I don't, you know, I hate you right now. And the next day we go back to work and we're good.
Yeah,
right?
that's a good thing to have, because like even friends of ours that I know, brothers, they've kind of had that thing where their parents made them do that. They kind of said, the most important thing is that you guys stick together, and they take that as it's just a given. Like, this is just something we have to do. So it's not an option to really break anything up, or that's never really a threat that anyone holds against each other. So that's great. That's something probably really great that your parents did for you guys.
Yeah. I mean, I value it. Like, I'll value it for the rest of my life, kind of thing. And like you said, it's just a way of life. Like, there is no other way about it. Yeah. Have we gotten into fights at the bakery? Yeah, 100%. I'm not gonna lie to you and say that hasn't happened. I'm sure.
Did you ever like throw like balls of like whipped cream or like flour?
It's never gotten like violent or anything like that. I mean, we have disagreements. We also, like, you know, we have a lot of good times. We have laughs. I mean, there's a lot of stresses, and it obviously, with running your own business, for anybody, even if they're smiling all the time, I don't care. People have stresses. It is what it is. But you know, we manage and just keep going. You put your head down, you plow through, right?
Do you have any specific advice maybe for somebody who wants to go into business potentially with their siblings, and or like, I don't think it'd be the same with close friends, but like maybe siblings or family or anything, any specific thing that sticks out to you?
Don't have any expectations. Zero. Expectations will kill you. So if you're expecting something from your brother or your sister or your cousin or your family member, you're fucked from day one. And the only reason why I'm going to say that is because everybody thinks differently and everybody gets to an answer differently. So, you know, I could say 6 + 3 is 9. You could say 8 + 1 is 9. We're both not wrong. We're both right. We just got to it differently. And it's taken me a long time to figure out that I don't think like my brothers, and my brothers don't think like me. That doesn't mean they're wrong. It doesn't mean I'm wrong. But it took me a long time. So those fights were because I wasn't trying to see their side of it and they weren't trying to see my side of it, right? So I don't expect, I try and drop expectations now, which, because I made the mistakes, and that's really it. You don't need to have those expectations for them. You work together, you come to that compromise, and you move forward.
Yeah, that's good. That's good advice, because I don't think people hear that very often. Like, just drop the expectations type thing.
Yeah,
like, that's great. That's a good point.
That's deep.
I'm speaking the truth. Whatever's on my mind is what I'm saying. So,
okay, well, bring it back to, so during this time, like, I know it's a little bit harder for every single person, and that's also a reason why I wanted to make sure that I had you guys on, because I love like the business so much that you guys do, and you guys do such great work. I want to make sure everybody knows that you guys are still open right now during this pandemic. How has COVID like affected you guys? What are you implementing? Like, I want to make sure people, because one of my things is when other businesses are open, when it first started, I was just, okay, what kind of precautions are they taking? And then like my mom's older, so I just want to make sure like if I go in there, it's everything's safe, like, you know, like that type of thing.
Yeah. Well, for us, I mean, like, so my mom's at the bakery 2 or 3 days a week. Just, she comes in, she does her whole, what are you doing? What are you doing? And it's mostly me, my brother, it's not the staff. She gives us shit and she tells us, do little things, whatever. So she hasn't been in like 6 weeks, 5 weeks now. Because my mom finished her chemo and radiation for cancer last year. Or was it this year? Last year, April, she finished.
Holy smokes.
She's fine. She's good. But the problem, like,
she's free?
Yeah, she's clear right now. She's
That's good
cool.
news.
That's great.
Yeah, so she's good, but I mean, so we went through that with her. But because she's immunocompromised now, she has to take precautions, right? So our frame of mind is okay. If our mom is like that, we put ourselves in the shoes of other people. Like we understand why people are stressed, why people don't want to go out, why people whatever. So, right? We made the hard choice to stay open. Now, people could have looked at it as why did they stay open, why didn't they close? Well, we figured, okay, if we could take all the right steps and let the people understand that we're doing everything properly, then we can still make this work. Plus, there's the added factor of I'm putting everybody out of a job now for indefinite amount of time. So there was a lot of things that we had to consider. But we decided, okay, no, we're going to stay open. We're going to do this right. We closed our seating area. We moved all of our grab and go stuff because our bakery is we have a lot of stuff out in the open where people can grab their own stuff so they can feel like they can grab it, because a lot of times people don't want to look like they're overindulging, so they don't buy as much. So with the way we've designed is people can grab their own stuff and then they end up buying more. Right. Side note. Anyway,
cool.
All that went.
That's cool. Yeah.
The lemon loaves also. Lemon loaves, very good.
All that went away. So we blocked all that off. Now we've gone back to grabbing everything for people. We've taped off all the floors where people can stand where they can't stand. All the chairs are gone. Plexiglass is up. We've installed sanitation systems all around the bakery, like legit pumps, like not little bottles, like they're fixed to stations all beside the cashiers, the washrooms, the entrances. So anywhere you look, you can get hand sanitizer. All my front staff wear gloves. I've provided them masks. Now, whether they want to wear them or not, I don't force them. The customers usually are behind a 6-foot kind of area where we've taped it off anyway. So that in that regard, and we don't allow more than 4 or 5 people in the store, just because our store is only, it's big, but it's not that big. It's not like a Costco. So
and everything's like, just for everybody that hasn't been in the store, it's behind like glass already, and there's glass, like there's partial glass on the other side, I think, as well, for like your cashiers, and like it's partly closed.
Yes. Yeah. Now there's a plexiglass sheet in front of both. We have 2 cashiers, so when you're interacting or whatever with the person checking you out, they're behind plexiglass. So yeah, we've tried, and we've got so much signage around there. It looks like a disaster. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it doesn't look
as nice as it would.
This time, I don't really care. I just want people to know
it's functional.
Yeah. So we did that, and then the other thing was like, okay, well, we have to adapt at the climate we're in now, and what do? We need things that would have taken us like 2 weeks, like programs to implement. We have to do this every 24 hours to keep people engaged somehow. So we came up with we did like a coffee at the CASA segment. So we would, go on, talk for a couple minutes, talk about some stories that we'd have over the years, give shout out to local businesses, tell everybody, don't worry, everything's going to be good, and spread positivity. Cause like, I've gotten so many text messages from friends and family like, are you stressed? Yeah, I'm fucking stressed, but I don't want, if I just plummet myself into that deep depression, I'm never going to get out of this. So I'm like, could be worse. Let's just keep going, keep smiling, keep working towards something. So
yeah. And I mean, people are still having birthdays, people are still having celebrations, and
still going.
Yeah, if you want to make somebody feel special, like, you don't necessarily, because I noticed, I'm going to jump ahead a little bit, but I noticed that you guys did like an Uber Eats or I don't know if it's Skip the Dishes program where they can order something and then you guys can deliver it to maybe your mom's house, like my mom's house, or somebody else's house. Like, I don't have to be involved. I just place an order so I can brighten somebody's day as well, that might be going through a tough time, or you're thinking about somebody, or somebody helped you with something,
or get somebody to somebody that doesn't have to go out themselves, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So you guys are doing those. I noticed that on your Instagram page, you guys are doing that kind of stuff, right?
Yep. And like now I think a lot more customers, I've seen a lot of repeat ones on Uber and Skip. Like, you notice the names, and they'll write like messages down there that like they kind of know us, which is nice.
That's
but
great.
They'll say, can you please include like a little card with this one? And I mean, we've gotten ones where like they want to offer condolences to people, so someone's passed. They want to say happy birthday, we're thinking of you. They want to say, hey, I know this is funny, but I know you're stuck in the house with your 3 kids and you're going nuts. Here's something, like little, like there's jokes, there's sadness, there's serious, and so we'll include a little card, whatever the message they have, we'll just copy and paste, put it in the card, and put it there with them. So when the Uber driver gets it to the door, at least they know who it's from.
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
And that's such a great idea, because people are still going to need to eat during these times. So it's not a, like a, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, like, I don't think you guys should be shut down because
No, absolutely.
like,
Well, we were talking about this the other day, Steve, and she's like, "Oh, well, do you think they got heat for opening?" And no, like people need their bakery stuff as much as usual, and the more food essential places, food is essential either way. The more places that are open means the less people that are jammed into the only
grocery
few
stores.
things that are open, right?
Yeah.
So
I mean, and even with us too, like we offer like we cut back our food area, like our food menu. So we offer sandwiches, pizza, soup, salads, all that kind of stuff. We just basically dumbed it down now just to sandwiches because they're very easy to wrap up, grab,
And
and
go.
see you later kind of thing. Where the other stuff, a lot of people would dine in and eat whatever.
Mhm.
But we also have like deli. So that is something that's gone like huge to the roof for us. which is
really
great.
cool.
Well, because if you guys, I don't know if you guys have gone shopping, but I've waited in that Costco line.
Yeah.
Like I've done the 2 hours
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
in the fucking freezing cold, and I
Yeah.
try and do the shopping for me and my wife. My mom can't go out. Like any of my brother and sister, I call them like, "What do you want? We'll grab it, and then we'll worry about it later because there's no point in them going out."
Right.
But if people like even want to run the longos, like at Applewood where we live,
Yeah.
the line still goes to North Service Road. So like, you know, why wait there when I don't usually have lineups coming here? I'll slice the meat. We got bread. and away you go.
Exactly.
So it's
Absolutely.
done really well.
Yeah, that's great.
So just to be clear, to summarize, so people understand. So not only do you make custom cakes, pastries, like donuts, like muffins, like all these kind of things, but you also have like is it still a hot table? It's not called a hot table now. It's like more sandwich.
No, it's like a sandwich bar.
Sandwich
Put it that
bar.
way. Yeah.
Because you did used to have, I remember pizza because I also had the pizza there.
Yeah, we still have that. We do have the pizza. We have like hot soup. We got like the leaf salad, cold salad, stuff like that. So it just again like COVID has made us
Like,
temporarily just,
narrow in,
put it
yeah.
a little bit. So. Yeah.
But a fun thing that I also saw on your Instagram, so if you guys don't know their Instagram, at La Dolce Casa, and you can go through like all their cakes and stuff, maybe if we're going to put some cakes into the stream here. But some of the things that I saw in there, that you guys have the do-it-yourself kits. So if you're struggling at home with trying to make dinner, or you're trying to get your kids to settle down, maybe you want to teach them a little something but don't want to make everything yourself, you guys are providing these do-it-yourself kits, which is amazing.
Yeah. So it started with the pizza one, and we figured, you know what, like people are ordering pizzas from us. The pizzas were going up, which is great. So just to give you guys background, because I like following trends and statistics, like that's where my
Business, obviously.
Okay.
my lame expertise comes in, I guess.
Right.
Super lame. The first 2 weeks.
No
of the
way,
quarantine
man. I love that stuff.
were very slow for us. Like to the point where it's like I started contemplating, okay, holy crap, like can we even afford to stay open right now, even though we cut staff and all that kind of stuff. So we're like, we need to think outside the box. We got to offer something else. And then we realized, we saw people ordering more and more pizzas. And then I don't know what, I'm pretty sure it was my brother Dave, or it could have been my sister-in-law Kristen. I don't remember who it was, but one of them said, why don't we put something like do it yourself together? Because my sister-in-law has a 2-year-old or a 1.5-year-old. Not that he's going to be making pizzas, but just stuff to entertain kids and then entertain adults, right?
Right.
So we're like, hey, let's put a pizza kit together, because pizzas were selling really well for us. So we put it together. The amount of kits we've sold is what we didn't really expect it, which is great.
No way. Cool.
Well, it's a twofer, right? So it's you get to eat and you get to entertain either the kids or the adults.
Absolutely.
So it's an activity and then eating at the end of it, right? And it wasn't intended for that. It was just more like, here's it is. Just it's like IKEA. Just build it, put it together, and then you go, right? So.
Oh, that's a great idea, though. I mean, people need stuff to do right now, right?
Absolutely. And like I have a lot of teacher friends which are like, we're still required to teach, and we're uploading lessons and having virtual lectures and stuff like that. Plus they're teaching their own kids in elementary school. So they're like doing music, drama, science, like math, like in those, and they're going crazy. Like they're like, I don't know how they're doing it. So any type of break that they can get where the kids aren't like bashing themselves or whatever, and they can do something with their hands, I'm sure that's very valuable to people right now. So
yeah. So I was just going to say, so we got a good result. We got a lot of moms ordering from us, telling us that's what they liked about it, that they could do something with their kids. So then we said, okay, well, for Easter, why don't we put together a cookie decorating kit? So those sold even more than pizza kits. Like I had moms buy like 6 at a time. Like, well, shit, this will go. Well, this first week we'll do 1. The second week we'll do 2. So those went really well. So we're gonna do something like that for Mother's Day too, and then hopefully those will sell. And
So cake decorating
yeah.
kits for Mother's Day?
Cookie for sure. I don't know about cake yet, but the cookie decorating kits, yeah, for sure.
That's an amazing idea. And then the kids feel like, oh, like, they might not be able to like purchase something for their mom because they're not supposed to be going out and stuff. But it's still something like making type thing.
Yeah, and then they get to eat it. Yeah.
Yeah.
The best part. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
You're probably giving other like businesses great ideas as well. Like thinking on your feet. Like that's the business side of you. So
you know what? I'm not gonna lie. Because we're live right now. It was either Dave or Andrew or both that came up with the idea. I'm not gonna take the
credit.
the credit for these ideas. No. These were my brothers or my sister.
It
was a family.
Take it.
No. I'm not like that. I'm not gonna do it.
No.
No. And honestly, like this is one of the reasons that like our listeners are gonna like fall in love with your company and your business and La Casa Dolce, because you guys are so family oriented and you're like, you have such strong values in family.
Authentic.
Very authentic, very like, I don't know, you just like, we just want to be your friends all the time because, because it's just like, there's nothing like, I don't know how to put it without making it sound negative. There's something like shady, like, you know what I mean? Like, when you get a feeling of for something.
Shady.
Yeah. When you're like, I don't know, when people are like, oh, I'm doing this and I'm doing this and here's my Lamborghini and like here's how awesome I am.
Oh,
like,
yeah. No, I see what you mean.
They're so like real and honest and awesome.
Yeah.
And they're just,
For
by
sure.
the way, this is like not sponsored or anything. Like I genuinely care. So I want people to know. So I'm going to bring it back to my lobster tails because that's my favorite thing.
Yep.
But is there anything else that sells really well that people might not be aware of that you guys make or sell?
I'm trying to think because their product line is so large. So actually, then now that you mention it, so we started doing, I mentioned before about the grab and go, like we have so much stuff on the open.
Yeah.
Again, obviously right now it's not, but we started doing about, I don't know, about 30 varieties of cookies, but they're all soft and chewy cookies. And they're all different types. Like you're talking,
I saw something on your Instagram about the taste testing and you guys were just like done after an hour of that.
Yeah. And we even have some of the flavors on our website, but those, I think we're growing a lot pretty quickly because we're getting more and more people coming in. We're getting more and more people ordering off of Uber, which is great. And it's any 12 cookies for $9. Like you could pick anything. We put them in a pack and you're good. So a lot of times people don't even care what they get. They just say, okay, give me 12 assorted cookies. I really don't care because I know I'm going to spend $9, but then they'll come back and get more and then they'll get more and then they'll get more. And they're all soft and chewy. Like they're very,
which is not like, I prefer soft and chewy cookies.
Yeah. So
because the other ones just crumble and then.
Yeah. Those are going really well actually right now. So
what's the how are the Uber drivers? Is there are they kind of different? Like I did some Uber Eats for a while. Can you kind of feel how it's affecting them, or are they different?
I'm usually not in the front when COVID's not happening, like a lot, because I have our great staff that take care of that for us.
Right.
But now that I'm in front a little bit more because we have very little to no staff. And again, the first 2 weeks we saw, they might as well have come in a fucking hazmat suit because they had
the whole works.
And I don't blame them because they're going to all these different places. So really, I don't blame them at all.
Yeah.
But now you've seen over the last 2 weeks, it seems like it's laxed up a bit. Now they're more like some are wearing nothing. They just come in, say,
right.
Can you put in a bag for me? And away you go. Some are still wearing gloves. So.
Well, that's good. I mean, everything's more organized now too. Everyone kind of relax a bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And besides Uber, you guys are also doing Skip the Dishes and DoorDash. Is that?
Yeah. So Uber, we've been with before the COVID thing started. Skip, we got on about just after it started, but the problem is they're so backlogged. So we're on, we have it, but our pricing is still being adjusted. It's a Skip thing. It's not us. They have to do it. And they're very behind right now. We are getting some orders. So half our menu's available, but the other half isn't. DoorDash, unfortunately, we set it all up. The tablet they sent us wasn't working. So we had to send it back. And again, their backlog, so we're waiting for our new hardware. So we're on 1.5 platforms, if that makes sense. Right
Yeah. Well, you know
So-
what? I think everybody's kind of going through the same thing, that like sells food, or is a restaurant or whatnot. So I think
Yeah.
there's just a backlog that's going to be happening, and people can be patient, or they can just come into the store, Cawthra, Queensway, right there, northeast corner.
Cawthra and Queensway.
The one thing I will say though about the one cool thing that I've noticed in this whole pandemic on a business standpoint is customers, no matter they're regulars, they're new, whatever, they've been really good. Like they've been really patient. They've been
Oh,
very
that's great.
understanding. You get like at least 3 thank yous a day, and they almost like I've had ladies say, "Oh, thank you for being frontline workers." Like I don't like I think of that as like doctors and paramedics and firefighters and whatever. I just think as like us just going to work every day.
Right.
But the fact that they're thanking us, like we don't do that for thanks. We're just trying to go to work. But you know, even like, okay, if our cake isn't ready at 3:00 and it's 3:05, in the past, people would bitch and complain. I'm not gonna
Right.
lie, I'm gonna say it.
Right.
Now they're like, yeah, it's okay. I know they have nowhere to go, and that's why they're not mad. Okay, I
Yes,
get
yeah.
it, but it's nice for us to know that we don't feel so under the gun, and it's just like people are accepting that we're human, and you know, sometimes we'll be late and sometimes we'll make mistakes. So the customers are really awesome. At this
That's
time
good to
right
hear. That's nice.
Yeah, and you guys are taking extra safety precautions, which is probably cutting into some of the time that it takes you to usually make. Not that you're not careful otherwise, but it's just like that many more steps probably
Right.
that you have to take.
Yeah.
So, what would you say like are your 3 coolest cake designs that you've ever done?
One that stands out above all is we did one for Margot Robbie when she was on Suicide Squad.
No, like for her, like her,
Oh, yeah. We
like
It was
the
in-
actress, like
yeah, the Joker girlfriend chick.
yeah.
One. Yeah, her. Yeah.
Cool.
We did one for her while she was filming, like, because they filmed a lot of it in Toronto. And she didn't, it's not like she called me up, say, "Hey, Steve, it's Margot. Can I get a cake?" So that did not happen. But I have we have a contact who's used us for many years in the film industry. And I don't know if Lindsay's watching, but she's fantastic. She's such an awesome person. So she trusts us with all the cakes that she needs for, you know, actors, actresses, whatever, over the years. I've known her for like 7-8 years we've been doing it. So we've done one for like Adam Sandler, Chris Columbus, Margot Robbie.
Wow.
Like a bunch, yeah. I don't
No
get to meet
way.
anybody. And some of them, if they're nice enough, they'll sign an autograph with like, you know, our cake and them, and they'll send it to us, which I
Wow.
never ask. We're very humble people. Like we don't do that. But it's cool. Everybody's asked, "Did you meet them?" Like, no, I didn't fucking meet them. So, like I just dropped it off at the doorstep. So
Oh, you have those pictures up in the shop for sure, right?
yeah, we have them all in frames. They were up. We did renos. We got to put them back up. We do have that stuff.
Cool.
So that one was cool. We got to go to when Dave Boland, I don't know if and you guys are hockey. He used to play for Chicago Blackhawks.
Yeah.
When they won the Stanley Cup in 2011, we did his Stanley Cup cake, and we got to go to his party at Mark Grimes' house, which was the counselor at the time. So we got to go to a Stanley Cup party, which was really cool.
That's
Wow.
so
Yeah, so that was that, and it was unexpected. He's like, "Yeah, you're coming."
cool. Did
Like,
you
I'm
drink
like,
out of the cup? Did you drink out of the Stanley Cup?
when I got there, it was in the pool. The cup was in the pool. So and they do that. They were just everybody was hammered.
That was a good
great.
party.
It was awesome. Me and my brothers and my dad just kind of, you know, stuck to ourselves, talked to Dave for a bit, talked to some other people, got introduced, and we didn't overstay our welcome. We left, but that was a really cool one.
Wow.
Trying to think of any more. I mean, there's probably a lot, but like put on the spot, it's hard. But those 2 or 3, like there's always ones that stand out in your mind, right? So.
Yeah, definitely. And like, so we're going to put some of your Instagram reel up. Like, I know I posted a picture with it, but there's just beautiful cakes. Like you have like those, like, I don't know all the cookies, but there's the really good ones that Macaroons everybody loves, like all the macaroon ones with flowers, like in the shape of like 35 years old. Congratulations, like 60 years old or whatnot. But they're.
So now, no, I was just gonna say, so now, and again, I always like giving credit where credit's due. So my brothers obviously started the custom cakes. That's how La CASA DOLCE started.
Right.
But now they've moved on to more managing the actual bakery. So they're actually on the other side. They're heading, like they do a lot of, I'm going to call it R&D, but like trying to come up with new products, trying to run the team on that side.
Right.
I've got a cake room. So half our bakery is designed just for cake production. And there's, I have 4 or 5 staff in that room.
Mm-hmm.
But Katie and Lauren are my 2 custom cake experts ladies, and they're phenomenal. Like the stuff that you see now, my brothers, I'm not gonna lie, they don't touch. It's those two, and then I have Haley and Sandra who back up the other part of the team, and they do a lot of the cream cakes and the other designs. And with those four, they're incredible.
I was gonna say, because like I know your brothers are great, but like those flowers are super intricate. Like
no, not them, 100%. So yeah, Lauren's one of the experts that does that kind of stuff, and she's a very, very talented artist. So.
Oh, it's like we're gonna have to put this up on the feed because they're incredible. There's like ones that are unicorn cakes, and you have like some tiger cakes, and you have just like ones that are in shape of like ages, like a whole bunch of them. So that's really cool. And moving to people maybe that are a little bit sensitive to certain things. I know that you have some gluten-free options available. So give us a little bit background on that stuff.
I'm not gonna lie, not many right now. We're working. The COVID stuff has kind of put a hold on that kind of testing, but our almond cookies, which we've had forever, they're gluten-free, and it wasn't on purpose. It's coincidence. They're just made with almond flour, but we sell a lot of them, and not because they're gluten-free, just because people like them.
Right.
So those are an option. And then our French macaroons are again made with almond flour. They're not, they don't have any gluten. So gluten-free and maybe some vegan options in the future. Obviously we'd like to work on that. Just right now it's on hold.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think now everything's like a little bit more like skeleton based in terms of like what is going to really sell and push things. And then, yeah. So that
our store looks a lot more bare than it usually is. Like our whole philosophy, and my dad was really big on this, is, the more you pack a store, the more you buy with your eyes kind of thing, right? So the more you fill it, the more you make it look nice and full and pretty, the more people are going to want. I mean, right now it's like, it's not us, you know what I mean? So it's hard to look at every day, but people are still supporting, they're still coming, and they understand. They just want something. They don't care what they're getting. So
yeah, but even like your cookies, like I've just gone in there a few times and just got like the 12 cookies for like 10, what was it, $9.99 or something like that.
$8.99.
Yeah. So it was just like, and I don't know, they were great just to have like as a snack.
Yeah.
For everybody who's gaining those COVID 15 pounds, this is a great resource for you. Yeah. So we talked a little bit about Uber Eats and surprising people maybe with like some positive things, maybe some gifts you want to give them. And Mother's Day is coming up.
Yeah.
Do we have anything coming up for Mother's Day? Any specials? Anything we're working on?
I am working on it right now. I'm okay to say it because I'm 99% sure I'm going to make this happen, but we're trying to get a program together. So we have like, 1 or 2 preset bouquets of flowers. So right now florists they're not open because they're not essential.
Right. So anybody that's planning to get flowers is not going to get them.
Unless they want to, I mean, you can wait in line at the grocery stores or at Costco's or whatever. But if you're only going there for that, or if, you know what I mean? It might be a little bit harder. I don't know how.
Or they'll get sold out really quick.
Correct. Right. So I'm trying to work with someone right now who, it's just they're running a skeleton crew too. So it's hard, and they're we're trying to put something together so that people can order that off us too, and a pre-order thing, because I am not a florist. I'm not going to pretend we are, and I'm just trying to do this as an added service or whatever. Yeah. So I don't have the exact details, and I don't want to put my foot in my mouth, but we're working towards it right now. So.
Yeah. Well, that's great, because I don't think people realized, like, not that everybody buys flowers all the time, but if you everybody had access to it. So now that everything's kind of shutting down and maybe they're just not thinking about it, guys, you will not be able to get flowers from your florist for Mother's Day. So
what am I going to do? That's like the standard. I don't think I've ever bought anything but flowers for Mother's Day.
We're going to contact Steve when the time comes.
Perfect.
Yeah, so now no added pressure whatsoever, Steve.
Yeah, thanks.
Now to all those, however many people are listening to, La Casa Dolce, Cawthra Queensway. I'll be putting up the location tag and phone number and all that kind of stuff so you guys can contact them. But yeah, I also noticed
You'll be putting it up.
I usually do, because somebody has typos all the time. Our tech guy. But I noticed on your Instagram page, I really like what you guys do is that you have like a positive and grateful reflection at the beginning of your like Instagram store or Instagram TV, which is something that I think we should get into as well. But I think that's great that you guys started that. And I know that you mentioned Gary Vee, and we listen to Gary Vee often as well. So he's always saying like, share your story. So like, talk a little bit about that and how that's going.
I don't know. I mean, like I watch him religiously. I feel like a lot of his values and what he puts out and the way he is, I don't know. I believe in the same thing. So it's nice to hear it from someone else.
Right.
When this whole thing started, I'm pretty sure it was like the 16th, 17th, 18th of March, because I think it was the 16th the quarantine went into effect or whatever. I was just laying there one night scrolling through Instagram, and every time I see him, I catch him, I'll watch or listen or read or whatever. And he was, people are asking, what the hell do I do now? How do I do this? He's like, well, you got to tell your stories. He's like, think of it as one big fucking virtual campfire.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, I'm like, as soon as he said virtual campfire, I'm like, this guy is a fucking genius. Like, I love this dude so much.
Yeah.
So I'm
He
like,
just
this
gets
is
it.
what I'm going to do. Because people always ask us, like, have you ever dropped a cake? What's the coolest cake you ever done? And they're always asking questions. When you get put in the spot, it's flattering, but like, you almost would draw blanks. I'm like, I don't.
Right.
So I'm like, I just told my brothers, I'm like, I know you don't want to do it. I'm like, because they're not like talkers too much. So I'm like, I'll do it. So I wrote down, if I had to put something in 5 minutes, how can I make a segment out of it? And my whole thing was let's try and share the love amongst small businesses, because a lot of my buddies have small businesses and a lot of people I know have small businesses. I'm like, if we thank somebody, if we tell a quick story, if we give a shout out, it'll all come together as a package where like, just like stay positive through the whole thing. So.
Yeah, and it keeps everybody's spirit uplifted, and it's good karma. And then you never know, like, because you said it, somebody who really needed to hear something or wanted like that business, or were thinking of like contacting somebody who was in that business, is now has like a warm referral, they call it, or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's always good. And then we also talked, because quarantine is such a special time for all the parents, we talked about having those kits out. Are we having anything that could do with mothers, like besides the cookies? We talked about the cookies and the flowers. Is there anything else that I'm missing that maybe, or did I get it all?
Those two for sure. I think right now,
Mm-hmm.
like I said, I'm pretty confident those two are going to happen. We got some other things on paper. We haven't really gone through them yet, so nothing else I want to say, because I don't want to screw it up or bite up more than I can chew. So
that's a smart business move there, because we sometimes do that. We like put out, like, we want to like do all these things, and then like, what can we actually follow up on is like a different story.
I've learned quickly, don't say anything unless you can follow up on it. So.
Yeah.
It's a good learning curve for all of us.
Yep.
Perfect. So I'm going to put up your handles and everything like that for anybody that's watching that wants to get into contact, because birthdays, anniversaries, special moments, like all that stuff is still happening. Plus, like, do-it-yourself kits for pizza, cookies with parents that don't want to necessarily stand in the grocery store line, and they can do it through Uber, which is awesome. So they can just get an Uber account, right? Like on their phone, they just get an Uber account, and then
Uber, or like I said, Skip is working partially, so it's still on. Or Uber. But like, I mean, even you just said like the amount of birthday cakes in the last 2 weeks, I think people are starting to realize, because the first 2 weeks of quarantine, we weren't getting a lot of cake orders, but in my head, I'm like, but they're still birthdays. So what are they doing?
yeah.
Then I think everybody realized, well, shit, we can still celebrate with the people in our house. And we make like small little cakes for 6 people. So the last 2 weeks of, they've started to go up and up and up, because people are like, okay, yeah, we can still do this stuff. It just can't be with a large gathering, right? So,
and maybe people just thought that, because I initially thought like, okay, 2 weeks of quarantine, like whatever, like I'll be fine. Like I just went massive shopping like during March break, and then like I can stay home for 2 weeks, not go out and whatever. But now that it's getting extended all the time, like events are still going to happen. People like, like what if this gets extended until September? Like, I don't know these things, but
I hope not.
I know, but like life still needs to happen.
Yeah.
People still need to have things that are celebrated. So if you can celebrate at home, like I saw a really funny meme. I don't know if you saw this. I think it was on like TikTok. Are you guys on TikTok at all?
I honestly, that's all I hear my niece say. She's 12. I got to figure out how to TikTok or whatever, but it's,
because Gary Vee says that you should be on TikTok as well.
I know. I hear. I know.
It's pretty intense actually. The reach you get from it, and locally as well. You get a lot of local, just crazy free reach.
Yeah, so if that could be a like one way to advertise like your stuff, especially if like Andrew and David aren't really like camera focused people, if they're making something and you can just film them quickly how they're doing it and just put that up in like a trending song.
I filmed Joanna rolling over my car last week to a parkour thing, and she's got like 130,000 views.
It was
like crazy views, crazy.
Honestly, it was like the most ridiculous. He's like, just try, but don't try too hard. Like, just look like you're trying to do something, but like bounce off things, because it was like a way of making fun of parkour. Like, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
And apparently that like worked really well. So
cool. No, I have to look into it 100%.
And I know that you probably have like people on socials and stuff like that, and it's harder to transfer like from Facebook to Instagram to all those things. So that'll happen. Okay, so I'll be putting up all those things. I know that the best place for people to reach you if they want custom cakes is.
If they want custom cakes, it's our website, so lacasadolce.ca, and then the middle tab is a request a quote section. Super simple, takes like 2 minutes. You can upload your pictures there, fill everything out. We'll respond back to you. Just give us a little bit more time now because of COVID. I don't have the full admin staff that I have, but we will get back to you 100%.
And like, is the response time like 48 hours response time? Like just to give
so normal response time when we're at like peak full volume, it takes about 1 to 3 days because we have a lot of requests every day. Now it's about 1 to 5. We can try and get it done in 1 to 3. The only problem is there's only so many of us working, and requests are still coming in for later dates. So we're still trying to keep up with those, plus run the store and all that other stuff.
But that 1 to 5 is like you having the cake done and made in those 5 days, or is it just for somebody responding?
It's responding only because a lot of times like people will say, okay, I want a cake for end of May, right? So within 1 to 5 days, we'll get back to you and then we can start the conversation. Once we get back to you, the conversation is pretty quick after that. It's just initially quoting it because there's some cakes that are really complex that take us time to break down, right? So.
Yeah, and those are the custom ones, whereas like you guys have like an assortment of ones that are pretty much like ready to go. Like I know that.
Oh yeah. If you want those, just call in. Well, that's no problem. Don't even go through the website. Like it's something easy. Just call us or
Yeah, and like even the one that we did, it wasn't like it was custom, but it wasn't super custom. Like it was just an overlay of a picture. Like so
just call us. We'll get that done for you, no problem.
Yeah, perfect. So I just want to thank you for taking the time out to be with us.
Thank you.
And I'm so grateful and happy that you guys are so much closer to my house. And you move closer. Not great for my stomach, but we'll work on it. We have a gym membership close by. Also, I just wanted to know if you have any closing thoughts for us at all. Anything that we didn't touch on that you want to touch on that we didn't go into too much?
I mean, I just for my other partners, I'm part of another business too. That's called CrossFit Select. It's a gym. It's in the area as well. We got hit pretty hard with this because, as you can imagine, you need a gym to function. Yeah. And we don't have one because we can't use it.
And now, was it like a protocol? Like all the gyms had to close at this date? Like I don't remember because I signed up to a gym, but I kind of had to tell them I want to put my membership on hold. Like they didn't tell me that they were shutting down.
No. So as of March 15th or 16th, fitness facilities was one of those things on the list where you weren't allowed. It could have been a little bit after that too. They had to close. Mm-hmm. We decided we decided as of March 16th we were going to close because we saw where the trend was going. And me and my 2 other partners, I align myself with 2 other guys with the same values as me, and we decided to put all of our memberships on hold so no one would lose money. They'd pick up right when they left off when they got back. And we did it. And we've had about 4 or 5 members say, take my membership on hold. You guys need the money for the gym. And we said, no,
because that's great.
It's not fair to them. It's just not like we all talked about it. We're like, shit, we'd love to do it, but it's not fair to them. So we opted against it. So what we did was we basically have a rental program for all our equipment. Our members, we set a price list. The members came by, picked up equipment. They paid us for it, and now they get to use it at their own homes.
Oh, no way.
That's amazing. Do you have a name for your CrossFit gym? Like, can people contact you that way as well?
Yeah, it's CrossFit Select. So even if you go on Instagram, it's CrossFit Select all together.
And that's right across the street from the bakery, right?
Pretty much 2446 Cawthron Road. I can walk there from the bakery.
So what's the difference between I've always been a gym goer, but I never did the CrossFit gym thing. So and I've been looking for a long time for a gym close to where we are. You guys are right down the street from us.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, the normal gym scene's kind of getting old for me. That's why I'm bouncing around different places. So what's the difference? Like, can you do a normal gym workout in a CrossFit gym, or do you have to do something specific?
Like
or
a workout class or like a
So the good
WOD?
thing about our gym, the good thing about our gym is we have class times and we have open gym times. So open gym, you can come in and do whatever you want. We don't have machines. We use a lot of body weight. We have a lot of free weights, bumper plates, the ones you can bounce, make noise, and nobody gives a shit.
Cool.
We're not that type of gym where it's like, don't make a noise, don't grunt, don't swear. We actually encourage it. We have loud music. So it's a very, very different vibe than your regular.
And sorry, let me cut you off for a second.
I'm not going to use any gym names, but
Right.
Let me cut you off for a second there, Steve, because I want people to understand that when you use your own body weight, you're using all the intricate muscles inside your body as opposed to the machines, which just use mostly your major muscle groups. So you're not getting as good of a workout in. And I mean, whatever works for you, but I'm all more for the body workout, full body workout stuff with the free weights.
I'm getting into it too. Yeah.
And it's essentially, it's the best way to describe it is functional fitness. So for instance, when I used to teach it, I would always ask people, how many people squat every day? And these are new people and nobody would really put up their hand. I'm like, are you guys sure you don't squat every day? And they said, no. I said, well, how many of you guys sit on a chair or go to the bathroom? And then they all looked at me like, oh, I get it. So we all squat every day.
Right.
Now we translate it into a workout. So we use squats in our workout because everybody does it. Same with if you have a 3-year-old toddler, when you pick them up, you're almost in a deadlift position. Well, you shouldn't be rounding your back. You pick them up properly. So everything we do we can make a scenario that'll translate in your daily life. But,
cool.
We try and preach it, we're trying to give you the best hour of your day, have fun, teach the classes and go forward like that. So
Yeah.
So man of many hats, essentially. So not only are you an owner of a bakery.
You're the best, Steve.
I know. And the owner of that in itself, that pairing is just like perfect. Like owner of a bakery, like all the donuts, cakes, and then a gym.
Kind of ironic.
Yeah, it is ironic. Yeah.
Listen, I'm just trying to build a life for my wife and my kid that's coming, and that's all I'm trying to do. I'm just literally
congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, she's due in July, so.
Did you post that? I didn't see anything about that, but I also know that you're not like huge on social, like you personally.
No, me personally, I'm not. I'll post little things, but yeah. So I'm just, like I said, if I can own multiple businesses, if I can own whatever I can own, I want to do as best I can and keep going and just provide for my family. I think that's what everybody wants to do, really.
Yep.
Yeah, and then just having like a good business mentality as to like finding holes that maybe aren't being filled, especially during times like this where you can add new products, add new, like that's great information. And I want to bring back to the point where you just said don't have any expectations if you're trying to work with maybe family or siblings or like significant others.
Yeah,
I don't know if
100%.
I don't know if that's gonna fly. Yeah.
I wish I could see his face right now.
We'll have to have you once we get this whole thing set up and COVID kind of dies down. We'll have to do a recap and get you over to the actual studio. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
No
we're gonna have a studio. It'll be Cawthron,
Cool.
QEW area. So I'll let
Nice.
you know, and then you can actually like be when we upload the YouTube clip too. Like you'll be able to see Talon's face when I'm saying all this.
Well, partial. I'm not in it. I'm not in it too much right now, but.
But thank you so much for being on. Thank you so much for sharing all this information. And for those of you that don't know, La Casa Dolce, now you do. So like check them out. Send somebody some coffee and
Queensway
donuts.
and Cawthron.
I know it's so close. Well, for most of us that are listening, Queensway and Cawthron, Northeast Corner. I'll be putting up their tags. Send somebody some donuts and like coffee and stuff like that. That's like that makes somebody's day. Instead of like just a message, like if you want to do something and you can't see them, send them something like that. It doesn't cost very much.
Yeah, and if you don't want to wait around the block at Costco, then you know where to go.
Yeah, and it's much better quality. Maybe you can make it custom. You can always talk to them about that.
Absolutely.
I'll be putting up all their tags. So thank you so much, Steve. Like
Thank you.
were fantastic. Thank you so much.
No problem.
We definitely like appreciate your entrepreneurial spirit. And when the gyms open back up again,
Yeah.
maybe we would love to do.
Yeah,
like
we're
a
coming
little-
by. I think we're gonna
Come,
yeah,
guys, come whenever you want. No problem.
Honestly, I didn't even know it was there. Otherwise, we
No, I
we
didn't-
spent so much time looking for a gym that was closer to us, like a lot of time, and I had no idea you guys were there. So we're definitely
we got a
check it
great
out.
community there. Like I know it again, cliche, bias, whatever, but like our community is so welcoming. They're so tight. We it's like a 120 member gym right now, and we're still always trying to grow it. But they're awesome. They're supportive. So I mean, if you guys want to come by, no problem, come by.
I got a couple of friends that really love throwing weights around too, and
making some noise.
Yeah, and the gyms we go to just don't allow it.
You come in the
so
right place, that's for sure.
That's great.
So CrossFit Select. That's what
Yep.
it's called? Okay.
Yep.
So just want to make sure so everybody knows. We'll put it up there so people can search it. Okay, perfect. So thank you so much, Steve. Thanks
problem,
for
guys.
thanks for
Steve.
spending the hour with us. For everybody listening out there, I'll put up all the information that you guys need. I'll put up Instagram handles, websites, I don't know, all that stuff that we need to put up to make sure that you guys can get in contact with La Casa Dolce and these fabulous, fabulous, fabulous family members, which will soon be probably your family as you'll tune it. So once again, guys, you've been listening to the Beach Fence podcast with Joanna and Talon and our special guest, Steve. Thanks so much, guys, and tune in next time.